Alright, since the first movie of a summer season in the United States, that is, has dropped, it's time for me to review a movie for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to go into my first exposure of Peter Rabbit out of my memory, which is possibly going to be its own video. So in preparation for making this video, I watched the first movie, which I think gave me some mixed feelings and raw notes, which again could be its own video. But with the sequel, I'm actually going to go positive with this movie. In fact, I think this might be a massive improvement over the original. So basically, like the Peppa Pig video, I'll go over plots of a movie and then talk about my conclusion. And no, I'm not gonna waste my time talking about the characters like I did last week. You most likely know who the characters are by now. One more thing, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out. It will make sure more people be recommended to see my videos. And one of the questions I had coming to the movie was, okay, Peter and Thomas are our allies, so why exactly does the movie need to happen? Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's get into the plot. So the movie starts with Thomas and Bia's wedding, and let me just say that this is our first sequel that had a wedding in it. Anyway, during the wedding, Peter imagines that he is kicking Thomas after he has called Peter's father. Anyway, since the sequence is quite minor, I'll carry on. So Peter is to accept their marriage as the new part of his life. Yada yada yada. This includes the fact that Peter can eat whatever vegetables on the garden except for tomato, but those are fruits, so they can't count, right? After the honeymoon, Bia has published a book about the adventures the rabbits have gone into, and Peter is now the center of attention of those who come into their store. Bia then gets a letter from a publisher who wants to distribute her books. They then go meet the publisher, Nigel Basil Jones, who comes out with several marketing plans to market Peter as the bad seed. Yes, I know how naughty he was in her first film, but he seems to be happy with the film being allowed to roam most of the McGregor Garden. Let me think of an example. Just because Spirit Airlines tried to brand itself as a good airline doesn't automatically make it a good airline. Peter walks out on the street, and then he meets an old rabbit named Barnabas, who shortly then tells Peter that he knew his father. They chase the people who want to catch them. They're caught, taken to a shelter, bought by a girl named Amelia, who puts them into a cage and funny clothes. After Amelia leaves the house, the two raid the fridge, and Peter meets some of Barnabas' friends. They use the food they stole from Amelia's fridge and take it to Barnabas' hideout. Peter is then found by Thomas and Bia, who have been looking for him. That's it. The end? That's what I was wondering at this point of the movie. I was questioning why it's called Runaway. I mean, we're only 38 minutes in the movie. Okay, obviously there's more time left in the movie. The next day, Peter takes his family to meet Barnabas' crew. Then they plan a heist at an upcoming farmer's market to get dried fruit. Meanwhile, Thomas and Bia meet with Nigel again over the distribution of a book. Thomas then realizes that Nigel's idea are not the best interest of Bia's work. As they pull off their heist, it turns out that Thomas is selling tomatoes at that farmer's market. Remember the tomatoes that Thomas wanted left alone? Yeah, those tomatoes. So then somebody has a bright idea for everybody to hide in a petting zoo, which gets all of Peter's animal friends and family taken away by animal shelter employees. Peter and Barnabas are in another van, and Barnabas tells Peter that he never knew his father, and that he was only being used to keep dry food for himself and his friends. After Peter gets out of the van, he enlists Thomas to get his friends back. They then go on to the meeting B's at, where they discuss crazy adaptation ideas. After hearing about their plans, Nigel suggests game replacements, which Bea declines. Bea also decides to abandon all distribution talks with Nigel. They then go on their quest to retrieve all their friends using a convertible that Bea had purchased earlier in the movie, which I failed to mention earlier for some reason, probably because it wasn't relevant back then. Moving on, they go to exotic destinations such as London, Inverness, Gloucester, the Alps. Really? The Alps? This also includes Felix's video flying a kite, because the rest can include skydiving, I guess. In the mid-credits scene, Bea and Thomas give birth to a baby girl, whose name is not revealed for some reason. Also, by this point, Bea has released the book called Peter Rabbit 2 The Runaway, and that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie. Well, conclusion, shall we? In conclusion, I thought that this was a solid film. I like how the movie feels self-aware of what it is. I think the movie also sends out the right message by showing what can happen if one falls into the wrong crowd, and the effects it can have on their family. Also, I liked the situation of what struggles an author would make with the distribution of a book, and wanting to make sure it didn't become some stupid sellout adaptation. So good job, Sony, putting together a sequel that improved over the original film. It's definitely an improved sequel in my book. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for new reviews every week. It really helps out a small channel like this one, and I'll see you next week.